Now, in the third section of esophageal injury and infections, we'll be studying about trauma. We'll be studying about different types of trauma that can cause injury to the esophagus. It will include blunt trauma, such as injury direct to the esophagus, and penetrating injury, which is due to the injury wounds of a gunshot or a knife, and what are the treatment options available for the patients. So in this section, we'll be studying about traumatic injury, which is mostly due to road traffic accidents, and injury which is directly to the chest. And other than that, we'll be studying about the penetrating injury, different types of injury that can involve perforation within the esophagus, and the different types of treatment, surgery, and conservative treatment options that we can give to the patient. So in the traumatic injury, if we talk about injury to the traumatic injury to the esophagus, we can divide into two different types. One is the blunt injury, and the other is the penetrating injury. If we talk specifically about the blunt injury, this is less commonly available. And that it is more prone to esophagus, which is present in the neck, called as the cervical esophagus, after the motor vehicle accidents, such as the direct injury to the esophagus because of the steering wheel, as the patient is sitting right in front of the steering wheel. The impact of the steering wheel into the chest can cause blunt injury to the esophagus. Other than that, a patient can present to the emergency with injury to the chest, pain within the chest because of the trauma with the seat belt, and other than that, a shearing force within the patient because of being thrown from the motorcycle onto the road. This can cause a very traumatic blunt injury within the esophagus. But if we talk specifically about the perforation due to this injury, the perforation is very rare with blunt injury. Other than that, if we talk about penetrating injury, we can divide it into two parts. One is this injury that is more specific to the cervical esophagus, which involves the neck part of the esophagus, and the other is the distal esophagus. So, if we talk about the cervical esophagus esophageal injury, the trachea, such as the trachea, carotid, and the spinal injury, are more prone to be injured with the esophagus when any sort of penetrating injury occurs. If we talk about penetrating injury, it could be because of a gunshot wound, or a patient being stabbed with a knife. Other than that, patients might present with complications such as sepsis, airway compromise, and tracheoesophageal fistula. These sort of complications are present in about 4% of patients presenting with penetrating injury to the esophagus. Other than that, surgery is also recommended, but other than that, conservative management with enteral feeding and antibiotics are also being offered to the patients. And if we want to diagnose the penetrating injury within the esophagus, we can see that there's an extramural air which is present within the X-ray. And this we can find out with the lateral view neck X-ray or CT scan. Other than that, like I've told before, that the second type of esophageal injury is within the distal part of the esophagus. In this, the findings that we can find within the patient is that the extraesophageal air is present in the chest. We can see it with the help of X-rays, radiographs, or with the help of a CT scan. Other than that, the most major threat that a patient can present is that the injury to the aorta, as it is the injury is involving the distal esophagus. The aorta is very prone to also be injured with the esophagus due to any sort of penetrating injury. And as the aorta is a very vital organ, injury to that can cause a very catastrophic picture of of the patient. Other than that, the penetrating injury can also extend into the mediastinum and the pleura. So, if we talk about the treatment options, simple closure of the perforation is not enough owing to the wound ischemia and the consequent leakage. If the patient if the esophagus is being closed with simple stitches, this wouldn't allow a proper healing process for the esophagus, and it can also lead to any sort of leakage from the superficial artery or veins. Other than that, esophageal resection with esophagogastric anastomosis is the more definitive treatment option that can be given to the patients with penetrating injury. Higher morbidity and mortality occurs when the surgery is being delayed from 1 to 12 to 24 hours. So the patient must be treated as soon as possible. Other than that, we can also provide the patient with conservative management, such as with antibiotics and nasogastric tube placement, bypassing the perforation. We can provide the patient with this sort of conservative treatment until the decision for surgery is being made. So in this section, we've studied about different types of injury, traumatic injury that can occur within the esophagus. We've studied about blunt injury and we've studied about the penetrating injury. If we go more into the detail of penetrating injury, there are two types of injury that can occur within the cervical esophagus and the distal esophagus. They have their own pictures within the injury, and we've studied about the different types of treatment modalities, treatment options that we can give to the patient. The different types of surgical procedure. There's a simple closure, and then there's a complete esophageal resection that can be offered to the patient, and then other than that, conservative management for the patients. That's all from this section. Keep watching scardio.com.